Hi everyone, hope everyone had a great new year and a happy holiday season and happy 2023. And like the previous years, I'm gonna kind of do a channel update and just collection update. You can see my collection has gotten quite a bit smaller than before. The whole wall of shelves on this side has disappeared. A lot of cars are unfortunately did not survive the purge of 2022. But these are the survivors. You can kind of take a quick look at them. Here's this shelf. Some of these are new, some of them are not. And comment down below if there are any cards in the collection right now that I don't already have a video on that you want to see more in detail. I'll be more than happy to make a video on that. Hopefully my hand isn't too shaky. I am just now realizing that I have not eaten anything today, and it is currently 5 p.m., which is normally my dinner time. So, yep. Sorry about that. But here we go. Final shelf. And there are a couple outside, but they're all brand new, so I'll talk about those later. So, some of the things that have been kind of going on this year, a lot of stuff has happened. This was my first year as a fully independent person, like living away from family, just completely self-sufficient, living on my own, having my own space, all that kind of stuff. My first full year of that. Also, it was my first year of living as my true self, living as a transgender woman. So that's been hard and interesting and other stuff. And it has definitely leaked on to my channel, as you can probably see from some of the color schemes on some of the cars here. But mostly it's been like my voice. A lot of people has commented on my voice, and you kind of know that the internet can be a little bit brutal. So my voice is a big thing that I've been very self-conscious about, especially since for all the videos so far on my channel, you guys haven't really seen my face. And even though a lot of people tell me that I look much more like passable, feminine and stuff now, and people honestly, when I meet them in person and they see my face and then hear my voice, they don't really make a instant connection. But I don't know, if you just hear my voice, maybe it's more noticeable, or maybe people are trying to pick and choose and deciding to continue to notice it just because they know that I'm trans. And there's definitely records of my old voice on the channel. It's definitely been a big point of struggle for me this year. Even making this video, it's been a really big struggle for me. I've made multiple versions of this same update video just because I just can't stand I'm just very insecure about it. So hopefully that's something that's going to get a lot better this year, with more practice, hopefully more acceptance, stuff like that. And maybe the old videos will kind of get buried by newer, better content. But even with that, I have been able to enjoy the hobby quite a lot. I've gone through a lot of cool cars, a lot of cars I've enjoyed, a lot of cars that are still here. So let's talk about those real quick. So, starting off, I believe I got this one this year. It came out early this year. This year, when I say this year, I'm still referring to 2022, even though it is officially 2023 now. I'll try to say 2022, but officially 2022 release, I believe. This one has been a pretty cool little release. It's been cool to see a lot more mini cars come out to market, especially for beginners and also for people with limited space and stuff. I've kind of struggled to commit to a mini RC collection like I've been trying to do for a long while, just because there's not a lot of choice out there for mini cars. But the choices have gotten a lot better. This being one of them. This is a pretty cool little buggy. Haven't had really any problems with it. My only real complaint with this one has been that it's a little bit slow. So I may end up upgrading the motor on this one. maybe getting a new body, painting it up, something cool. So that should be pretty neat. And along with that, next to this is the Mini T 2.0 from Losi. I finally got around to really getting into this one just because I finally have a track I can run it at now. So that really makes it a lot more enjoyable as well. Also, the brushless system in this one helps a lot as well. So I've done a bunch of this, a bunch of upgrades to this, bunch of driving on this. And it's probably my most driven car this year is probably this one. This has probably seen the most miles. You can see how bald the tires are getting, how beat up it is. And I've been actually really, really enjoying it. And because I've been enjoying this one so much and enjoyed that one so much, I've been kind of on the fence of getting the Mini B as well, but I don't want too much redundancy, so we'll see if that happens. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Maybe if there's another good sale on them on Tower Hobbies, I might pick one up. But for now, I've been really, really enjoying the Mini T and looking forward to more laps and more track time with this little thing. Moving on is the Team Associated Reflex 14B. This has also been a really cool little buggy, and this one's cool because it's really fun to drive outside as well as on the same carpet track as this one. You can see I already went through a set of tires that are completely bald. This was also a very cool little car, and because it's Team Associated, there are a lot of factory team options available, like these sway bars and a lot of like other like cool racy upgrades. So I haven't got to test out the sway bars yet, but I have been really enjoying this vehicle as well. Not a lot of aftermarket for this one, but what there is optioned from Team Associated and factory team, they're pretty good upgrades, and even just right out of the box, it's a pretty cool little buggy. So really been enjoying it. Don't regret this purchase at all, and don't see myself getting rid of this one anytime soon either. Down here we have a brand new build. This is another CC02. I know I just gave up on a CC02 build and sold it off for basically pennies. But I picked up another one just because I really like this new Defender body, especially in this new pre-painted version. All I did was go over the outside with some flat clear and then do some black accents and stuff just to give it a cool little touch. But this has been a really fun build, and I think it looks really good, especially since I got rid of my other D90, my HPI Venture D90 with the RC 4-wheel drive body on it. That's been sold, so that's gone. This is my only 10th scale D90 now. And questionable if this one's even going to stay in the collection for very long, because I mostly got it for the build, and now that the build is done, I don't know if I'm actually going to really drive it much. Just because I have a lot of other trail trucks and stuff that I drive. So I'd really have to actively decide to drive it. Whereas if I just was going to drive on a trail or something, I'd probably just take my, oops, this one's a work in progress at the moment, so the bumper's coming off. But I'd probably end up driving my Sawback or my new Palm. Or maybe even like the Capra or the R1, which I'll talk about a little bit more later. So we'll see if this one stays long term. The TT02 FT, I got that late last year, like 2021, I believe. Unfortunately, 2022 really haven't been able to drive it too much, except for the early years where there was still snow, because this one's mostly a snow vehicle. This holiday season, even though there was a lot of snow, I was away from home, away from like my apartment, with family and stuff. So I didn't really have it with me to drive it in the snow. And by the time I came back, it was like 50 degrees outside, not cold at all. So really haven't gotten a chance to drive it, but don't see myself getting rid of this one either. I've been enjoying that one quite a lot. I just like even just looking at it. I think it's just a really cool truck. And yeah, I really like it. And along with it, I've been enjoying the other TT02s quite a lot as well. Like this one, which I believe is the TT02R. And then this one, which is the TT02D. I haven't driven the D yet, just because I'm still finishing up the body. But this one I have driven. I wish it was a little bit faster. It does understeer a little bit, so might try to do some tuning to fix that. But for the most part, I've been enjoying the TT02 platform quite a lot. I also had the TT02B, which was an amazing buggy, but that's been sold off. So TT02, definitely a staple and a old classic favorite here on Chibi Sky RC. So yeah, but I've been enjoying that quite a lot. This TT02D, actually, my mom brought it for me in from Korea, and then I bought the body separately. And I'm doing the Shingo EG Civic build from Initial D, the duct tape deathmatch Civic. I just need to put the stickers on it, and for the most part, it'll be done. I know there's some other decals and stuff I need to do, but I gotta figure out how to make those custom graphics. But I'm really excited to try out 10 scale drifting again. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I've also enjoyed driving the FF03 again this year because I have a nice little smooth parking lot at my apartment, so I have actually somewhere to drive it, and finally been able to really enjoy the FF03. And it is a really good handling vehicle. It's a real shame that Tamiya discontinued it and everything, but a lot of fun has been had with FF03, and I'm looking forward to more miles with this thing. Down here is one of my oddly pride and joys from this year, 2022. This is my Junkyard Sand Scorcher on the CC01 chassis. Really like how this turned out. I'm really proud of how this one turned out, actually. And I was actually planning on flipping it and just selling it off, but I actually ended up liking it so much that I'm probably just gonna end up keeping it. On top of that, the CC01 platform has gotten pretty hard to find nowadays, so I'll probably end up just keeping it around just for that, because every once in a while I have an urge to mess with the CC01 again, and it'd be nice to have a few on hand for projects or just to drive around or mess around with every once in a while. For the most part, it does seem like the CC chassis have been replaced completely or mostly completely from with the CC02, which is a shame because it is pretty unique having the independent front suspension versus a solid axle. So, but that's just where Tamiya's going with it. But yeah, really happy with this, really proud of this, and actually pretty excited to get this on more interesting terrain. This has been a huge moment for me, both like personally and as a channel. It's the first time I ever got something for free for having a YouTube channel, and that's also obviously thanks to the RC Elf, which have been who've been doing a lot of promoting recently on YouTube with other channels. Not that I feel left out or anything, but like it's a joke. I wasn't featured in any of those, probably because I'm not as active as I used to be on YouTube. But nevertheless, I'm still very grateful for this buggy because it is a very expensive toy that I got for free. And I've been having a lot of fun with it. So it has a few upgrades on it now, like brass weights, wheel weights on the wheels, bumper, Hyrax tires. And I've been really enjoying this buggy, and I'm really grateful and really happy that RC Elf noticed me enough to send me this year, and that was really special. And thank you so much again, RC Elf. Along with the Capra, when I was getting the Capra, I actually really wanted the G-Made R1 rock buggy, but one, it wasn't available on Tower Hobbies or Horizon Hobby, and two, they were just kind of discontinued in general. Not discontinued, out of stock in general in most places at the time. Also, just generally, part support is better on this. So I wanted to try the Capra out first before I got the R1. But the R1, I found a few, and they're just pretty cheap for rock crawlers go, so I had to try one, and it's one of those classics that I really always wanted to try out. The R1 is the first ever Gmade car that I've ever seen. I believe the GS01 is the second I've ever seen. But yeah, the R1 is always really cool. Ever since I saw it on ultimaterc.com, and driving it, it's been just a really fun little vehicle. I have done some changes to it. A lot of the aftermarket parts, like Junefok parts and stuff, have been discontinued, especially the center skid that triangulates the links and stuff. That's been discontinued, unfortunately. But I managed to do it kind of like a janky style on the front. Haven't managed to do it in the rear, but I will probably do like a 3D printed part for that. The dig system, unfortunately, is also discontinued. That's something I was really interested in. I don't think there's any other option for that unless I want to convert it completely over to an axial transmission, but that's too big of a job. At the moment, I have a lot of ongoing projects at the moment, so like I have the skid here, upgraded the servo. I have the Hyrax tires that I just put on. Still want to test those out. I've been really impressed with the Hyraxes on the Capra, so I really want to see how they do on the 2.2 size on the R1. So this was a really fun buggy to build, really fun buggy to drive, and overall I've been enjoying this one quite a lot. Coming over here, we have the Blockhead Motors Wild One. I've been wanting this thing ever since it was announced, but as soon as it was available for pre-order, it just got completely sold out, and I haven't been able to find one. But somehow my local hobby shop managed to get a couple in, so I picked one up as soon as I saw it and built it right away. And I have to say, the build of this was super easy, it's super fun. The not having to paint was really cool for me personally. I love the paint scheme on it. I love the build on it. All the silver parts look really cool. And then when I finally got it all built and drove it for the first time, it drives so smooth. It drives so smooth despite its looks. I expected it to drive like the Frog, which doesn't drive very well, or like the Hornet, which also doesn't drive very well. But the suspension on this is so smooth. It looks really retro and classic like the Hornet, but it drives so smoothly. I just absolutely love it, and I'm really mad that I wasn't turned on to the Wild One sooner, just because it's a really nice buggy to drive, and it's a really cool buggy to look at just driving around as well. So really excited to get more miles on this. The only upgrades this one has are ball bearings, but other than that, just really enjoying that little buggy. This is another car that I got this year, actually for my birthday in 2022. This is the Arrma Infraction 1/8 scale, the Mega version, the brushed version. I had a lot of fun with it, even with the brushed motor. I did upgrade it to brushless for a while, and then I put brushed back in it just so it could be a rally car. And it's been a blast to drive and blast to play with. And the new Z body on it also looks absolutely fantastic, though I'm not a big fan of the color scheme I went with. And originally I planned to do this as the rally body, and then the Mustang body that I also have as the street body. But I actually really like this Z body so much, I might end up just getting another Z body and painting that one more like a cool scheme or something. I did enjoy it for quite a while, but now since I've started a project on it, it hasn't been finished because I keep starting projects and not finishing them. So for most of the year, it's just been sitting, but for a while it was running, I did enjoy it quite a lot. It does have some overheating issues just because of the way the Arrma platforms are designed. They just kind of run really hot. So that's been a kind of an issue. Not quite sure what to do with it. I think at this point I may end up even just getting rid of it and just going for something smaller. I'm not quite sure yet. I do really like the platform. I really like how it looks and how it drives and stuff. It's just, I don't know. I guess maybe I need to get like a new burst of inspiration for it or something. But for right now, it's just sitting here waiting to be finished. And I don't know when it's gonna be finished. It's just sitting here for now. We have a couple other G-Mates. This is not a new vehicle by any stretch of the word, but it is one that I've driven a lot this year. Also done quite a lot of upgrades to it as well. And I've just enjoyed this Sawback a lot since I've got it back from my friend. It's got new tires, it's got new steering bits, new shocks, and new body and all those kind of stuff. It's just been a lot of fun to play with. And I beat the absolute crap out of it. I even almost lost it in a stream, in a river. But managed to get it back. It's just been through hell and back and continues to keep on running. Not the most capable vehicle I have, but definitely more capable than any stock Sawback would be. And still a lot of fun to drive. The more it gets beat up, the more I like looking at it, honestly. And I'm excited to continue messing with this thing. It's currently missing a bumper because I've been trying to do a couple other upgrades to it. But again, life and the holidays and everything got in the way. And haven't got around to it, but this will get finished. Because this is definitely one I do drive quite a lot. Another one I've really enjoyed this year is my new GSO2 pump. This one, ever since I finished it, has been an absolute blast to drive. It's probably my most capable scale crawler. Just from its design and just the way it looks, it's been absolutely impressive. A lot of my friends have been impressed with this thing. It's the 2-speed version, so it has the better transmission. I haven't had any reliability issues with either of my GSO2s. I know some people have had some drivetrain issues and stuff. Mine have been working perfectly fine. The only upgrades I've done to mine are like wheel weights and then steel wheels, and then the sway bar for the rear cantilevers. But other than that, mechanically it's stock. And I love the way it looks. I love driving it. So that one's also going to get a lot of miles this year. Hopefully my friends gather for more crawler events and stuff. And I'll probably end up taking this one and the Sawback. Another platform that I've really enjoyed in 2022 was, of course, the G601 chassis, the Konghead, as well as the Volvo. They're both pretty cool. I haven't driven the Volvo as much. I did drive the Konghead in the spring. I haven't driven it too much just because I have a lot of cars to go through. But I have really enjoyed driving both of these, and I like looking at both of these as well. This one will be getting rear steer. The parts for it are there. But again, haven't gotten around to it yet. I'll have to get to that. But this one especially I think will be a lot of fun in like a sandy area to use as like a Tonka truck or something. That'd be really fun. This is just fun to drive in general. So a lot of fun with that. Coming down is another ongoing project for 2022 that refuses to get finished, even though it's basically almost done. I just need to bite the bullet and buy the parts for it. The body is still a temporary body. The tires are still temporary. These are the Duratrax munition tires. And the tires are okay, but the wheels are shockingly weak. They crack very easily. So very disappointed in those. I just need to bite the bullet and buy the J-Concept body that I want for it, and the J-Concept's tires and wheels for it. Because all the other upgrades that I wanted to do on this SMT10 has been done, like the front sway bars, the metal servo horn, aluminum locking shock collars and stuff, brushless motor system, all that kind of stuff. I just need to bite the bullet, spend the money, and finish it. It's just the spend the money part has been the real snag because especially those tires are so expensive. It's been hard to really bite the bullet for that. But for how much money I spent on all the other cars, I guess I don't have any room to complain about that. I just need to do it, finish it. Because I know I want to finish it. I just keep getting distracted by other projects. Speaking of monster truck projects, this is another project that I attempted to sell in 2022. Nobody wanted it other than for me to basically give it away to them. So this one's been kind of sitting, and at this point, I think I'm just gonna bite the bullet and finish this project as well. Just money's tight right now with the economy and everything. I also have a new car to pay off and stuff, so a lot of these may end up collecting dust for a while, but I guess no harm in waiting till I can actually afford to finish the project, or maybe just try selling it again. I'm not sure, but I do really like this car, and this is the Sun Racing Jimny monster truck. It is a really cool little monster truck, and it does drive really well. I just need to figure out what I actually want to do with that. This was an impulse buy. I bid on it because it was cheap, but also not that cheap. It was still like $300. It is still a Sand Scorcher, but I bid on it. No one else bid on it. I won it, even though I didn't want to win it. So I have it now. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Maybe parts for my other Sand Scorcher, but yeah, it's here now. And then down here, another Beetle. Another project that I've been meaning to finish, just didn't get around to it again, is my Red Cat Landslide buggy conversion. I have the M2C Racing chassis for it that's been discontinued. But I bought that like late 2021, maybe early 2022, and I never got around to actually installing it. So I have to bite the bullet and do that as well. Tires are bald. I even have new tires for it. I've been kind of wanting to get rid of this, but also it's so hard to get rid of it just because it has like rare discontinued parts on it now. And even so, it's not going to be worth anything even if I do sell it. So it's going to be a complete loss. So really not sure what to do about this one either, but while I have the chassis, might as well throw that on. So I'll have to find time to do that as well. We'll see if I actually do it anytime soon. This has been sitting in the corner. I got this FMS 1/6 scale Jimny for an absolute steal. This is, I think, a $300 or $400 truck MSRP. I got this for $90 on Black Friday. So that was an amazing deal. That was a crazy, crazy deal. So really excited to mess with this, get it like detailed up, paint it a prettier color. And this one I'm mainly gonna use to tow a little bucket of Hot Wheels that I take to car meets and stuff to give away like free little Hot Wheels and stuff. So it'll be really good for that. I have my little Asian Barbie in there as well. And this one's just mostly nice because it's easy to access the battery and access the on and off switch and stuff while it's just like sitting on the parking lot. Just so it's a little bit easier to deal with in like a car meet situation. So that's probably what this is going to be for. For a while, I think it is going to probably stay stock just because car meet season is kind of over for the most part. I also have a lot of other projects to finish, so not a big priority, but one that I'm definitely going to get to at some point. A big thing is I've been getting back into mini RCs, so you can see I got my Element Enduro Trail Runner that I've upgraded. I'll do a more close-up video on that at some point. My Charisma MSA 1E, which I thought was a pretty neat little car, though I wouldn't be too upset with getting rid of this one just because it doesn't serve any extra purpose. But yeah, those are new for 2022. The biggest thing though is this right here, which is I finally got back into Mini Zs because the local hobby shop I go to has a Mini Z Trek, so I finally have somewhere to run these things. So of course I have my A86 Trueno that I've had. That's my first Mini Z. Finally have a place to really drift that and drive it, so that's been a lot of fun. Next to it, I got the Mini Z 4x4 Jeep as an impulse buy. It was on sale at the hobby shop. I couldn't help myself. Impulse bought it. My other Mini Z 4x4s, the Jimneys, I did end up giving away to my friend. So we'll see if that one sticks around. But I like this one a little bit better just because it matches in scale a little bit better with the rest of my Mini Zs. So that's pretty cool. But honestly, for most like actual RC crawler use, I'll probably end up using this one instead, just because it's gonna perform better. But it's a cool little car to have, and it actually looks pretty good in white. The Mini Z all-wheel drive Type R, I got it to convert to front-wheel drive. Forgot that the all-wheel drive chassis is gonna come with drift tires, so I need to find tires for it. But also, I might end up just getting a front-wheel drive chassis and then just fixing this one and putting it on the NSX. Because I want an all-wheel drive chassis for the NSX body. The NSX actually came on this chassis, which is the two-wheel drive. I bought the body separately to use on the track. But yeah, a lot of fun's been had recently with the Mini Zs, and really excited to mess with these. And the Mini Zs also serve a double purpose because they're both RC and scale models, so that's been really cool, especially with this display case garage thing that's been that I've got. You can stack them and stuff, so that's gonna be really cool to get Mini Zs and store them in there like that. So a lot of fun to be had with the Mini Zs. Really excited to dive deeper into this segment of the hobby. But with that said, it still ended up being a pretty long video, but wrapping up, 2022 was overall a pretty good year for me personally, as well as hobby-wise, though towards the end the economy started tanking and money's a little bit tight, which is why you can see there's a lot less cars. There's still a lot of cars. Granted, I do realize I have the privilege of that, but it has been reduced quite a bit from previously. You can see the whole wall is gone. Yeah, and I expect my collection to dwindle further a little bit. A couple cars here and there and stuff, mostly because money is tight. That new car that I have to pay for that I mentioned is a Hyundai Kona N. So I finally have an actual like performance enthusiast car. So I've been kind of pouring money into parts and stuff for that. And I've also gotten a lot more social in this past year after coming out. So I spend a lot more money on food and just social events and stuff. So a lot of money stuff has to be rerouted away from the hobby to other aspects of my life. I can't just be an RC hermit anymore. So that's the explanation for that. That's also the explanation for why the videos have been really slow, along with the self-consciousness thing that I mentioned earlier. But still really excited to see what 2023 has in store for me, both personally and in the hobby. And as always, I hope everyone has a great year. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, have a great day and have fun with RC.